Hey y'all, I'm Alninio, and I have a wild claim to make that some may or may not agree with. Are you ready? Assassin's Creed Mirage will shape the entire future of the franchise, as well as the direction that Ubisoft will take for Assassin's Creed as a whole and Assassin's Creed that come ahead. So as you all know, the recent 3 games we've had were Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Everyone can agree that those last 3 games took a massive turn for the entire franchise as a whole, and many would say Unity or Syndicate were the last real Assassin's Creed games. At the very least, many can agree with me when I say Syndicate was the last Assassin's Creed that followed the stealth-focused formula without the RPG elements or grand-scale open world. Now, Assassin's Creed took a major turnaround, and the company felt the need for this franchise to change. After so many Assassin's Creed games with the same formula, they decided to go for an RPG open-world focused AC, and it absolutely worked. Origins is what I personally consider the savior of the franchise, and I've said it also in one of my past videos. After Unity's launch and horrible feedback on launch, people lost hope in AC. Then Syndicate came, and it was honestly a great game in itself, but people didn't forget how Unity made them feel about the franchise, so Syndicate didn't get that much love. Unity was the game that got people hyped the most because it was the biggest change to an AC game we've had, and it still holds up amazingly even today. With the direction they took with Origins, the game became more RPG open world focused rather than stealth action RPG, so it lost a lot of its charm. That doesn't necessarily mean Origins was a bad game. It is honestly my favorite out of Odyssey and Valhalla. They saw that Origins was working out great for them, so they went ahead and released Odyssey, which turned out to be a great game when it came to the RPG-focused elements and the open-world elements, but the OG fans were getting worried seeing the franchise change drastically. I was one of those people. I was concerned with the direction of the franchise that I loved so much and began seeing them release yet another open-world RPG game. I don't blame Ubisoft for this decision because they saw the success of Origins, which was received extremely well. Even Odyssey by no means is a bad game, it just wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. I was waiting at some point for it to feel like an AC game, but that just never happened. There's no Creed, there's no hidden blade, you carry a dagger and have wild magical abilities, fall from the roof like a demigod rather than an assassin. It was very different, and I had to take it all in. Again, I'm not bashing Odyssey in any way. I think the game is fantastic, but remember the key note that I mentioned earlier, the focus on open world RPG being the main priority over the game feeling like Assassin's Creed. With that, we'll move on to Valhalla. I think Valhalla had a great story because of Basim primarily. He is my favorite character in the game, but Valhalla I would say is the game that absolutely drifted the furthest from Assassin's Creed with absolutely wild raiding, running around with axes and charging full speed at the enemy. It's literally in their trailer. You know they're trying to make the player do these actions. There's no priority on stealth. At that point, we can toss Assassin's Creed out of the way because now it is no longer an AC game. Hell, that even happened basically during Odyssey. We were just given the illusion of an AC game by having Basim be there, giving us a hidden blade, which was also equipped the wrong way. Eivor, we all know that getting the hidden blade requires sacrificing your ring finger at this time. Later on, of course, Altair changed that with his codex pages, but with Valhalla, you just put it on the hidden blade and call yourself an assassin. People started seeing the trend and direction where AC was going. Valhalla was this big open world with so many side quests. I thought to myself about just how big Valhalla's world is, yet how empty it feels. At this point with the franchise, even I started missing the older games a lot. I considered AC Origins to be the greatest game out of the last 3, and it was focused on the foundations of the hidden ones, building what we now know as assassins. And it was so great. Bayek was also extremely likable. It was really cool to see how the Assassin's Creed we know started, and Origins perfected that for me, especially the DLCs adding more life into that. So, we've talked about all the last 3 games. So, what does that leave us with? Mirage. I fully believe that how well or bad Mirage does will shape Assassin's Creed franchise entirely, completely, in every way. See it from Ubisoft's perspective. They just hard committed to going back to the roots of Assassin's Creed with its action RPG style, yet they are retaining some aspects of the newer ACs, which is completely fine, such as your Eagle Enkidu, which I think is a great addition to the franchise, by the way, and it should 100% be kept. I'm talking more about the RPG style with massive open world removal. This, in my opinion, is a great and big change that I have always wanted in Assassin's Creed. I want to be in the cities, parkouring and vaulting over objects and using social stealth and eagle vision along with my tools that I have in my kit as the advantage. No more massive open world RPG. Mirage is bringing back the focus on Assassin's Creed being an action RPG with a smaller world than Odyssey, Valhalla, and Origins, but with so much life and details. Even parkouring feels more realistic in Mirage, since Basim actually hangs on to areas where he can put his hands on, rather than the other 3 games where you can pretty much climb literally anything, even if it doesn't feel like it's possible. This is it. I'm extremely nervous about what happens here, because I want Mirage to be the best game of the franchise. I want it to succeed so badly, because if it does, Ubisoft will see just how profitable it is for them to go back to this direction of AC, and they will ditch the open world RPG as their main priority. Assassin's Creed will fully be back to its roots. Now, in the event that Mirage fails, God forbid, then they will simply go back to their open world RPG formula. To them, it's like, well, we tried, we listened to the community, but this didn't work out. So, this is why Mirage is the single most important game that Ubisoft has made. Assassin's Creed is massive. It's a month until Mirage releases. The gameplay looks phenomenal, it's everything that I wanted. They have the right idea with this, they have their research on Baghdad, they have the details perfectly. They have everything to make this a great Assassin's Creed game, and in the end, it will depend all on the single game. I want this game to succeed, to bring back everything we loved about Assassin's Creed, and they will continue down this formula of action RPG and putting the main focus in Assassin's Creed over open world RPG. I'm going to judge Mirage with its every detail when it comes out, and I will make a new video on this topic. This is why this is the most important game in the entire franchise, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. So make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy. I'll be posting a lot more AC Mirage videos as we get closer and closer to release, and eventually when it comes out, I will be playing the game fully over at my Twitch, over at twitch.tv/Alninio9, and uploading the entire stream VODs on my YouTube channel here so you don't miss anything. It's not just immediately going back to what it used to be, it's something innovative, yet keeping its foundations of what made AC so great. Thank you guys, and always remember, nothing is true, and everything is permitted.